Hi all, welcome to Framed by James. This is the condensed version of episode 1. If you'd like to take a look at the full version, you're welcome to. Click on the link down below. So I just wanted to briefly go over how to pick the best frame for yourself and what you should be looking for in picking a good frame. As I said in the full episode, fit over shape. Okay, we're focusing on the fit of the frame, not on the shape of the frame. I gave 2 reasons in that episode of why we shouldn't focus on shape so much. Reason number 1 is that it's really hard to classify a face shape and to get it consistent across the board. Reason number 2 is that even in the trainings of the top frame manufacturers, they basically say it just doesn't matter that much, that you can't go wrong. So what do I mean by fit over shape? Let me show you. The simplified goal of picking the right frame is to get your eyes positioned in the frame so that they're in the optimal spot in the lens. I've drawn on these lenses to show you roughly where that sweet spot is. So if you draw a grid on the lens, you want your eyes to sit right about here. So horizontally, right about center, or within 5 millimeters or so of that center line. Vertically, you want your eye to sit about between halfway and 3/4 of the way from the bottom of the lens. So right there, that's your sweet spot. That's our goal, is we want to get your eye to sit somewhere close to this spot. When picking a good frame, we're going to look at 3 things. And I'm kind of condensing that down, and you could break it out into more things that we're looking at, but really it's about 3 things that we're looking at. To demonstrate this, we're going to use our good friend Ben Higgins, the former bachelor from episode 1, the full episode, to show you how that process works. Number 1, we're looking at the prescription and the usage. When helping someone pick the perfect frame, I like to start with their prescription as well as their lifestyle and what they'll be using the frame for. Is it a progressive lens or a single vision lens? Do they have high myopia or hyperopia, a high plus or high minus prescription? Will they be using them for a specific activity like sports or fishing or just on the computer? What is it that they're using that prescription for? So given that I have no idea if Ben even needs glasses, we're just gonna skip that first step and not worry about the prescription. We're just gonna assume that Ben has a minor prescription, it's just single vision, so not a multifocal lens, and that he's just gonna be using them for everyday spectacles. Second thing we're looking at, and this is one of the more important things, is the fit. And I'm talking about measurements of your face in conjunction with measurements of the frame. We need to find something that fits your face. So getting into the facial dimensions, I like to start with the center of the face and then move outward. So we start with the nose bridge. We're looking at both the size of the nose bridge and the position of the nose bridge. Is it a wide nose bridge or a narrow nose bridge? Does the bridge sit higher or lower than the eye level? You can really get a feel for that on your own face by using a pen or your finger. So this is what I mean. So look at yourself in the mirror and either using your finger or a pen. So just roll it down the nose until it sits in the groove. And then we just see where that groove is. So on my own eyes, they're right about level here, and I know that I have a smaller nose bridge. So let's check it out on Ben. Okay, from what I can gather, it looks like Ben's bridge is pretty normal, just not too wide, not too narrow, and it looks like it's just a little bit higher than his eye level. Now we'll look at the pupillary distance, or the PD, how far apart the eyes are, and also that measurement in comparison with the width of the face and the head. Are the eyes narrow set or wide set? We want to try and match that as close as possible with the PD of the frame, which is the eye size, or the width of the lens, plus the bridge size. That measurement is the center of the frame, or the PD of the frame. For Ben, it looks like he's got a pretty good ratio between his pupillary distance, or the distance between his eyes, and the distance ear to ear, or the width of the face or the head. I wouldn't consider those to be narrow set or wide set eyes. Pretty normal on that one as well. If we've got those first 2 measurements right, then the eye should be right in the sweet spot or close to it. If something's off, we might need to try a different frame, say a wider bridge or a higher bridge location or a larger or smaller eye size. The last thing we want to look at is the temple length. Are the frame temples too long or too short? We want the temples to have about 20 to 30 millimeters from where it rests on the top of the ear and the tip. So between where it starts to bend and the end. We want about 20 to 30 millimeters. If it's too long, you end up looking like me and having to wrap it a whole lot. If it's too short, you don't have enough to wrap and it doesn't sit well, doesn't rest well on the face. So let's check that. Okay, looking at the temple length is really hard to gauge off of a picture alone. So we're just going to assume that he's got a normal temple length and go from there. Those measurements are crucial for finding a good fitting frame. Once we're solid on those, I believe the rest is personal preferences. And third thing we're looking at, I'm just going to call style. We'll look at frame shape and decide what the client likes best and what looks best. We can also look at different color options. Everyone's personality is a little different. We like different shapes, we like different colors, and I say as long as the frame fits well for you, for both your face and your prescription, then pick what you want. What do you like? Make it your own. So I don't personally know Ben Higgins, so I can't answer any of those things, but here's what I think would look great for him. Here we have it. The Bulgari 3039. An awesome set of specs here, really well made. And this one's just a matte black color. Maybe he would want something a little different, but we've got a 54 eye size and an 18 bridge. And you'll notice the bridge is a little bit higher. With him, his bridge is a little bit higher, so we want that to sit a little bit higher so that it's not pushing up too high into his eyebrows. There it is, the Bulgari 3039. Ben Higgins, you've been framed by James. Remember to like the video and subscribe below, and as always, see the good.